So, funny story. I did not have a really good idea of how I wanted to tell this story and build in public when I first started filming. So, I have a bunch of short vlogs, essentially, kind of daily check-ins that I am working on editing and putting together. This is the intro for episode 2 of the Craft Shack Chronicles. Episode 2 is really kind of one day's work, and that one day's work involves planning. And honestly, the work happened over the course of several days, but the chunk of sitting down, figuring things out, and planning is what you're about to see. So that's that. I guess I should say enjoy. Enjoy your next episode. Stay tuned for more. Hey, that works. Awesome. Hey, so I'm back. Now you see that I do have a watch, and I'm using that to start this. As far as starting a shop, where I'm at, I like making things with my hands. I think stickers are a really good point of entry. I have a few pretty decent ideas for some niches that I don't really see. So for the last, I want to say now 6 months, because things take a long time, I've actually been trying to learn and figure out not only Affinity Designer, but how to print stickers, how to cut them out on using my Cricut. I wish I would have recorded that, all the trials and errors before, but trust me when I tell you it's been a really long, very, very, very trying process. And for me, for my life, I don't have a lot of spare time. This is a morning for me. This is 8 o'clock in the morning, thereabouts. And I really don't get much more than a few hours a day to work on this. I also have 3 children that I homeschool full time. And let me tell you, I have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and an elementary schooler. So the interruptions abound all the time. What I figured out for me is that getting up relatively early, so around 5 in the morning, honestly, lately it's been like 6, but getting up and getting out to the shed and working from whenever I come out to about 9 a.m. is my best chunk of time. And if I can do that consistently, and if I can do that 3 to 5 times a week, I get about 15 to 20 hours in. That's all I really get. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I can't think. I've been going to bed pretty early because I do love and need my sleep, and I'm done. So me coming out in the middle of the night or whatever to throw some more work in hasn't been useful. So right now I'm doing mornings. And I guess one of the first things that I've figured out, especially with starting something from scratch like this, is you got to figure out a system for yourself. You got to figure out where you're going to get your time from. If you have another job or multiple jobs or just other commitments, like what your budget is. Like, we don't really, right now I don't have a lot of extra income, or capital or whatnot. So we've been buying things as we can, mainly through, online companies and whatnot. And then the last thing is organizing. And that's what I'm working on right now. And that's kind of where I decided that I'm going to start something as far as teaching and just show organization. So organization for me right now is paper planner. I always have, in any of my notebooks, I always have an ideas/brain dump area, and I always carry sticky notes on me or with me nearby, because I like to write down things a lot. I also utilize my phone. If I don't have any of this on me, if I don't have a writing implement, if I'm out in the wild and I need to do something, I will type in a note. And once in a while, I actually remember to go through my notes and delete or transfer them over. For the day-to-day and for being able to plan a project from beginning to end point to goal, and also being able to zoom in and zoom out, to me, I feel like paper is going to be easier. And it keeps me from having to learn yet another software program. A lot of my experiences have been that I get really good with a program or an app, and then they stop supporting it, or they get bought out and they get shut down, or I invest in, like, you know, something for a year or 3 months or even the free trial, and I use it and it just doesn't do exactly what I need it to do. So I spend, you know, a couple weeks, couple months trying different things and really never coming up with a system. Paper is here, it's customizable, so I'm throwing in the towel and I'm going low tech. One thing I've noticed, I like these diskette type situations, because you can pull out pages and pop them back in really easily. It's easier than a 3-ring binder as far as like reordering and moving things around. I don't like how much they stick out. And right now, when I want to use 2 sheets of something, I'm finding that it's not the most comfortable, but oh well, I guess nothing can be perfect. So what I'm working on today is actually organizing how to get my Etsy shop from product. I have my first 5 products ready to go, as far as being made and ready to ship, I guess. My first inventory, but I don't actually have my shop open. I do have a website that my husband made for me, and I do not have any social media, and I need to get all of that organized and ready to go. So first thing I'm doing as far as like planning is I work on sticky notes. So I made a sticky note for myself of the different pages that I want to have to organize my project. And right now I have a brainstorm / mind map. So right now I'm gonna draw everything out in little circles and then try to make connections and sub-connections and just let everything that I've been thinking about for the last 6 months, noodling on, and just let it out. I really need to just kind of dump it all out and then figure out where I'm at and what pieces I'm missing. And a lot of times for me, writing something out triggers like 10 other things. So I just need the space and the time to write that out. I'll probably actually do that on 2 sheets, like have it open. That's one of the things. The other thing I have listed here is a timeline. I need to figure out first what my goals are, my mini projects are, my milestones, my tasks, and my tasks, and then I can figure out a project. In the essence of full disclosure, I have already filed for a fictitious business name. I had to do that in the state that I'm in, and I also got my EIN yesterday. So I'm trying to do this pretty legitimately. I did talk to like a small business advisor, and they kind of actually tried to convince me not to go this route. They wanted me to do more craft fairs, but I'm pretty determined to do more of an online Etsy, maybe Shopify, maybe my own thing first. Recording in progress. Anyway, where was I? Craft fairs, yes. So where I live, it's very touristy. The summer gets really super busy, and that's when I think the craft fairs, 1, they get very frequent, but 2, you get a lot of people, especially tourists. So when I went to go talk to this business advisor, they essentially told me that I was better off trying out my products, and they're probably right, honestly. They probably are, but I am stubborn, and it just wasn't feasible then. But they said I was better off trying out my product at craft fairs, because if it sells at craft fairs, it's more likely to sell on a platform like Etsy. That said, I don't have necessarily the time and skill to put in all this effort and money and experience into just craft fairs. So in my mind, I think I'm still going to do Etsy. I'm probably pushing for Etsy first because it's wintertime here and there's not really a lot going on. There are a few little craft fairs that I can go to, but where I live, it gets very touristy. I will try to do that in the summer. It will be its own project. But in the meantime, I would like for Etsy to be the main focus, and I would like for Etsy to be the main sustainer, and then craft fairs to be just kind of a supplemental concept. So it's its own project. I don't know where this is going to lead. I don't even know if I'm going to succeed. That's, I guess, the biggest thing that I can say. I don't know. And it's scary. Lately, this week especially, I've been struggling with just overwhelm. I made my products, which is kind of the easy part, right? And I made a system where I can make them consistently. But now getting from that to online at Etsy, making sales, is where I kind of started losing a lot of momentum. So I'm going to get it all out. I'm going to organize it, and we're going to go from there. Oh, and learning how to edit YouTube videos. I don't know how to do any of that. Okay, so I did my mind map. I think I have what I want on here. This is what I mean about interruptions. And this is what I mean about low tech. All right. I think YouTube should be its own project too. Damn it. Okay, so I'm up to 5. It explains why I'm overwhelmed. All right. I think those are the main projects. I think now what I need are like goals or milestones, or I don't know, whatever terminology you want to use, stepping stones, pathway points. If you're really into project management and you have like a tried and true system or tried and true language, awesome. If you're like me and kind of like winging things, know just enough to break stuff, then use whatever you want. That's actually all I have time for right now. I need to clean up and I need to get out because the next office person is coming in. My husband and I share the shed. So like freaking submarine hotboxing style or something. It's a little awkward, but it works. And it is 9 a.m. for me. I gotta go inside and do my day job, which is essentially everything else. Y'all, talk to you later. Thanks for watching.